Let's talk about this strike, man. Let's talk about this strike. So, Writers Guild of America. I'm so tongue tied today. I don't know why. Is on strike. They went on strike. I want to say it was 12 o'clock, May 1st, 12 at night. So the 2nd of May, they officially went on strike. This is gonna hurt Hollywood. I already talked about 2000. I want to say that was 2007's writer strike. So it's been that long since they've been on strike. Everything's been, I guess, kosher between Hollywood and the writers. But now the writers is things have changed. Streaming, the numbers have changed. Money, who's getting it, who's not touching the money, things like that have changed. Hours worked, basically, you know what I'm saying? Just crazy stuff. So this is coming from fandomwire.com. Says Hollywood writers on strike, what to know about the 2023's writer strike. So after weeks of negotiation, the WGA has officially started the 2023 writer strike, shutting down production on many of film and television productions due to an inability to reach an agreement between the Writers Guild of America and major Hollywood studios. The WGA has officially gone on strike in order to earn fair wages after an attack by studios against their livelihoods, while many people online are concerned about the disruptions to their favorite shows and movies. The WGA putting these on hold is the only way to pressure studios into a fair deal. Now, why a writer strike? Well, like I said, 2007, which was like around 15 years ago, was when the last writer strike happened, and it was due to the writers needing to fight for payments on digital distribution. And this strike is happening for many of the same reasons. So, if you remember back then, DVR was just coming into a big thing. On demand was coming into a big thing. Netflix was out there, but it wasn't streaming yet. They were still serving physical copies of DVDs to people back then in 2007. So the streaming era has now ushered in a made for streaming movies. So that's a whole nother write up on a contract to talk about getting money. Writers are also paid drastically less for despite being the same level of effort as theatrical movies. So they want these writers to do the same thing on these straight to streaming movies that they do for theatrical movies and get paid the same. In addition, the streaming ages new 8 to 12 episode seasons have led to less work for writers, as well as new mini rooms that employ fewer writers than shows previously would have. And finally, across the entire industry, a significant number of writers are being paid at a minimum. Like they ain't getting paid jack shit. You know what I'm saying? With the minimum not being enough to live on due to not being enough to live on due to an inability for it to match inflation cost increases. So we know inflation is a motherfucker right now. It's just skyrocketing, and a lot of people can't really live how they would want to live daily. You know what I'm saying? Their everyday lives. So um, this little graphic right here, let me show this little graphic. Says 10 years ago, 33% of TV writers were paid minimum. Now half work at minimum. So from 2013 to 14, it was 33%. 2021 to 2022, it's now at 49%. That's crazy. So now half work for minimum wage. This is wild, man. This is wild. Says the median weekly writer producer pay has declined 4% over the last decade. Adjusting for inflation, the decline is 23%. Come on, people. Come on, man. Let these writers get, you know what I'm saying, do what they got to do. Let these writers get their money, man. Let these writers get their money. Contrary to what many believe, the WGA is not happy or excited to be on strike. I'm pretty sure a lot of these writers just want to write. They just want to, you know what I'm saying? They creative people. They want to write. They just want fair wages. Pay me, and I write the best stuff you can have. You know what I'm saying? The vast majority of Hollywood television writers have trouble paying for groceries despite working on beloved, famous shows. That is where I heard a story the other day. They said it's an Emmy Award winning writer. Say the dude's suit, he had to go thrift his suit. You know what I'm saying? He was living off of like, noodles or something like that. Just, just something you wouldn't think somebody attached to this great big budget Hollywood film would be on. You know what I'm saying? Was living in New York, couldn't afford place to write, say his internet would go out. He would have to go to the library. He couldn't, what I'm saying? A lot of things he couldn't afford. He would have to go to the library and do things so he could write. That's wild to me. That's wild. So the writers have been forced to go on strike because of a complete unwillingness from the studios to give them a living wage. The studios in negotiation refused to agree to minimum staffing of writer rooms, greater residuals for streaming of television shows in foreign countries, greater residual in streaming features, or to agree not to replace writers using automation. In short, nearly every major thing the WGA was fighting for was refused without a counter by the studios. Because of this, there was no choice other than to have a writer strike. That's crazy. I don't know why the studios wouldn't agree to some of these things or try to at least come to a middle ground. They didn't even come with a counter offer. Normally in negotiations, you want a counter offer. Um you want the opposition that you're in negotiations with to at least bring something else to the table. They didn't even do that. That is crazy. That's wild. So I'm totally in support of the writer strike. I think people should get paid for their work efforts and get paid what they're deserving. And if what I'm saying, you get paid what you negotiate. So if they're negotiating this and they're not coming with a counter offer, that's crazy to me. That shows some kind of because they and a lot of people that say, oh well, they could just go and get some other writers. These are the cream of the crop, creme de la creme. You know what I'm saying? The best writers out. So now you want to take a product that's up here and bring it down here just because you don't want to pay for the best. So yeah, you can go get somebody off the street, right? Some up and comer off the street, and then what? What's that gonna do? That ain't helping nothing. You just gonna have a trash show or a trash movie now because you went and got Boo Boo the Fool off the corner. Nah, y'all need to do better, Hollywood studios. Y'all got to do better. That's crazy. That's wild to me. Y'all got to do better. Please do better. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the strike. Do y'all think that the writers are striking and the reason they're striking is a real reason to strike? Or do you think that whose side are you on? I guess that's the perfect question. Whose side are you on? Writer side, Hollywood side, or the studio side? To me, studios, y'all got the money. Pay these people, man. Pay these people. Especially if they're contracted workers, pay these people. That's all I got. Y'all let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments.